Hey, I don't really know why I'm calling. I mean, I do. I don't know, I just feel stuck. I don't get it. I make plans, I get excited. I swear this time will be different. And for a while it is. And then, boom, I lose focus, I procrastinate, and then days pass, then weeks, and then suddenly I'm right back where I started again. I've had moments where I pushed through, where I actually felt like I was becoming the person I want to be, and I was really excited. Like, yes! But then ultimately, it never lasts. Something in me always resists. It's like there's this invisible force pulling me back into old habits and old excuses. What is that? What keeps stopping me?
It's mastering discipline and consistency, which a lot of us seem to just not have at all. That's why 93% of the population doesn't really accomplish the goals and the dreams that they have. They just sit on a bar stool or talk about it all day long, but they never actually accomplish it. So let's change that. Let's change that. Today I wanted to talk about resistance. There's this force, an invisible force right in front of our ability to be disciplined and be consistent. And it's this resistance to even doing the thing. And I've been really contemplating this lately because I've also been struggling with this a lot. Even just making this video, I've had a lot of resistance to just push record. I don't know why. Maybe things in my head are saying, oh, you're not going to be good enough, or you're going to lose track of what you're saying, or, all these things. But anytime that we're trying to start a new project or we're starting to build a dream, there's different fears and anxieties, and it puts up this resistance, and it's kind of like this jelly, sticky thing that maybe we're afraid we're going to get stuck into it and we're not going to be able to get to their side and actually start working or have focus, and we're getting all overwhelmed. And so then you go off and you do the dishes that have been sitting there for a while that you didn't want to do a couple hours ago, but all of a sudden you have this great inspiration to do these dishes because you've got this wall of resistance up to just sitting down and doing the work, or whatever it is that your project is, right? So I wanted to talk about things that have really helped me really start just cracking at that wall to really get started. I've been sick. Things that I've been doing that have been really helping me just to be aware, number one, of what's going on. You got to have awareness. So a lot of people think that people that accomplish their goals don't have this resistance, but that's not true. It's not true at all. Most people have resistance every single time they sit down. The ones that are action takers, they go past that resistance every single time. They just don't listen to their own minds and they just start doing the work. And you got to do the work that makes a difference, because you don't want to do 80% of the work that isn't really pushing the needle. You got to work on that 20% that's really going to push the needle. The things that you really don't want to do, the things that you're really afraid of doing, or the things that you really have the hardest resistance against is those shit you got to get done now. So have awareness that there is a resistance and everyone has it. It's actually neurological. Everyone has it. Everyone has it. Everyone. Just having awareness is a huge step forward. So each day when you wake up, you're like, oh, I know there's that thing again, that resistance. I'm not going to listen to it. I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to pass through it. And some things that I've been doing lately that have been really helping me, one is breath work. I've been doing this guy breath work with Sandy on YouTube, and I just really like him a lot. I like his voice. And it's just 10-15 minutes. But what this does is it gets oxygen flowing to the brain, get oxygen flowing into the body. It gets you reset. It gets those anxieties to calm down. It gets you in the moment, it gets you prepared. And then I make sure that I'm hydrated and I drink water and I do a little bit, maybe like even 10 minutes of yoga. And this morning I went on a 45-minute walk. So I kind of just got moving and I ate really good food. I put good nutrients in my body so I can fuel my body with good fuel, right? And then when I sat down, like right before I did this video, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's just do it. This is just resistance. Just Turn on the camera and press record. Press record. Just do it. That's it. Another thing that's kind of helped me is I listed out a list of fears of what would happen or how I would feel if I did not do this thing. And then I put it next to my TV. So every time that I want to turn on the TV and be lazy or something, I see those list of fears and it's like, oh, okay. Oh yeah. The resistance thing. Let's go. And I think that's kind of a good way. I know a lot of people do the opposite. They put in positive affirmations. But fear is a great motivator. Fear motivates you. It gets you off your butt. Like when you are like, wow, I won't be able to support my family. I'm going to die without having ever accomplished any of my goals. Whatever your fears are around the thing, you see that and it reminds you of like, oh yeah, that's not what I want. So for me, that's been helping anyways. And another thing that you got to remind yourself is that discipline is power. Discipline enables you to actually accomplish your dreams. Discipline actually gives you freedom, gives you space to realize yourself, and then you can do it again and again. Discipline generates money. Discipline generates different people that come into your life. Discipline generates respect. When you're doing the hard stuff, people see that, whether it's on a subconscious level or a physical level. Like if you're at the gym working out, people see that. You work out. Just people knowing that your discipline commands respect. But it's more than that. You're also respecting yourself. And the chemicals and the different cascade of chemicals that you get in your body, it creates something that you can't even imagine until you actually start accomplishing these things. And then once you get a momentum, you're able to crush another goal and you're able to do it again and again and again. I also wanted to just tie in a concept that I'm just kind of putting together right now, but there's a psychiatrist on YouTube, I don't know, Gabor, I can't remember his name right now, but basically he was saying there's some statistics saying that if a woman in a marriage isn't able to express herself to her husband or her family, and she keeps all of her emotions in, she dies younger. She gets sick and dies younger, because she wasn't able to express herself. And I feel like just on the planet in general, we are not expressing ourselves. We are not taking that internal, creative, authentic force that's inside ourselves and bringing it out into this physical plane of existence. When we're not doing that, it causes a lot more anxiety. It causes a lot more stress. It causes a lot more thoughts and overthinking. When we're not bringing what needs to come out, it just festers inside. And at some point, that festering anxiety and non-action accumulates in the body. And there's a chance that your body can start getting sick. And this is actually science. It's not even woo-woo. It's almost like we have to start, as a human race, as humanity, we have to start getting our creative force out into the world. It's almost like our duty to society and to ourselves and to our family, because it makes us feel better, and then it ripples out into the community, it ripples out to our family. But when we're able to accomplish good things in the world, this creative force, we affect people in ways that we can't even imagine. And we're able to build a force of energy of other creatives and other soul parts that are bringing out our creativity and bringing out our ideas into the world to create a new, better society. In this day and age, there's so much negativity going on. There's so much disease and sickness and wars and genocides and racism and sexism and all these different things that are happening, and it's overwhelming. We almost can't even take anymore. And then you see social media and you scroll on that, you're getting dopamine hits and you're seeing different things, and a lot of it's just negative. And by the end of it, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do anything right now. I'm just tired. I'm just exhausted, tired. I have no energy for nothing. And that's when it comes back to the breath work, to clear out your body, clear out all of this negativity and clear out everything that's going on, because your mission and your purpose in life, even if you don't know what it is right now, is more important than anything else on the planet. Really, truly. Because ultimately, we affect people that we're next to. Our energy affects people. And that energy transforms us. So we, as a collective, we've got to start building and transforming our own energies to build a force so powerful that it changes all of humanity. And it starts with getting past that resistance. And that resistance is an illusion. It's an illusion. You just sit down for a couple minutes. You can tell yourself, hey, I'm just going to sit down and do that thing for 2 minutes. But what usually happens is that you start to do it a lot more. It's just like going to the gym. Make it into a smaller goal. When you're looking at a mountain and you're at the bottom of Mount Everest, you're like, oh my God, how am I going to get to that? How am I going to get to that dream and that goal? It's so far, I don't even know what the steps are. Just do the next best thing. Concentrate on one thing. Just focus on one thing. Just make sure you're focusing on the 20% that's really gonna push you forward. If you're kind of been focusing on all the little 80% of the stuff that isn't really taking you forward, stop. What's the most important thing that you need to do right now? What is the one thing that you have the most resistance in doing? And start there. Because that's probably where you need to go, most likely. We got to get past this resistance to be able to change ourselves, change humanity, become consistent, and become disciplined. Because discipline is power. And how are you going to use that power that you have to change yourself, your family, and humanity at large, potentially? Let's do this.